Hi friends, my name is Kate Fisher. I'm here to talk to you all about the diffusers that Young Living offers. I'm going to break down each one, tell you why I love them, a couple cool facts about each of them, and just a little bit about diffusing. Um, Before I started using Young Living, I was a candleaholic. I had a candle drawer. I loved it. Since I started using essential oils, I have ditched and switched I've actually sold all of my candles when I learned that burning a candle for an hour was the equivalent of smoking a cigarette. So I have a cat and a dog, and both of them are great around the diffuser, around my oils. I use them on them. And I have noticed a huge change in my life switching off of the toxic candles. So this is awesome. I'm getting the same, my house is smelling great still, but I'm actually getting therapeutic benefits from it. It's actually like lifting my mood up and making my house smell nice. It's really awesome. So Young Living makes a bunch of different diffusers. Some of them come in the kit. Some of them don't. I'm going to talk to you about all of the ones that I have. I actually have a lot. And why Young Living diffusers are different. So all of them are specially made with a certain kind of plastic that actually doesn't break down with the use of strong essential oils. So a lot of the essential oils that you can purchase at big box stores are heavily diluted. They are not pure. They can be labeled natural or whatever, and it just is not the case. So the diffusers that they sell at the stores, it's not a big deal because it's actually not a real essential oil. Our essential oils are the best that you can possibly get. The most pure, the strongest. There's nothing else in it except for that essential oil. So we need a different kind of plastic. So this plastic is extremely durable. It does not break down when oil is put into it. So if you were to put like a lemon essential oil in a diffuser that you bought off of online or in the store or wherever, something like a lemon oil will actually start to break down the plastic. And I actually didn't believe that. I had a little diffuser that I got offline, and I was diffusing citrus fresh and like lemon, I think, and I couldn't get this open. Or it wasn't this, but like the lid open. I was like, that's so weird. Like, why is that happening? And when I did some research, I learned that the plastic started to break down and it literally like melted it together. So when you're doing that, you're actually breathing in all that toxic stuff, and it like defeats the whole purpose. Stick with the Young Living stuff. They have awesome warranties. Their customer service is amazing. It is your best bet, honestly. So the first diffuser I got was my Dewdrop. This is like where it all started. The Dewdrop is probably the simplest design of all of them. It is a really good starter diffuser. It's super simple. It's got 3 components, this lid, and this one. This red dot back here is the fill line. That's where you're going to fill the water. This little white plate you'll notice in all of the diffusers, that's actually called an ultrasonic plate. So basically what an ultrasonic plate is it shakes really, really, really fast. 1.7 million times per minute it shakes, or per second, per second it shakes. So it is extremely fast. And the reason it does that is when that plate shakes so fast, it mixes the oil and the water, and it like makes it more efficiently go into the air, and that's how it is dispersed, which is pretty cool. So the Dewdrop, I'm just gonna put a little water in it so you can see it. If you don't have this, I've seen a lot of people decorate the outside of this with stickers. I'm going to do that. I just haven't done it yet. I haven't found any that I love to use. The charging or the port to turn it on is back here. If I can get it in. Okay. So there's a little button on the side. When you press it, once the light comes on, if you press it twice, it still runs, but the light is off. So this diffuser will run for about 4 hours. All of Young Living's diffusers are actually humidifiers as well, which is really cool. So if you're in a dry area, or if you like that extra moisture in the air to help with whatever, this is the way to go. This diffuser will cover about 323 square feet of your home. It's like a typical size bedroom. It will run for 4 hours, and it requires 5 to 8 drops of essential oil to run. Now, it's good to note that a lot of people ask this question. This diffuser will shut off either A, when it hits 4 hours, or B, when the water runs out, whichever happens first. So it's not like leaving a candle lit, if that makes sense. I diffuse all night, no problems. This is just, it goes off automatically. So this is the dewdrop. Okay, so I'm going to shut that off. All right, so the next one, I'm actually going to talk about two because they are the same base, so it just makes sense for me to talk about two. Okay, so this one is the Desert Mist. This one is not on correctly, sorry. Okay, so this is the Desert Mist. It is also one that comes in the starter kit. A lot of people, this is actually new in the starter kit. I think you could have gotten it in January. I think that's when it was new. If you notice, it's a lot bigger than the dewdrop. And it's really pretty. I do love it. And then this is the lantern. So the reason I'm going to talk to you about both of these at the same time is because they have the same base. So they basically do the same thing. They just look a little bit different on the outside. So they both cover 323 square feet. They both run for 5 to 6 hours when they're on the high setting. They both will run 8 hours on the low setting, and then they'll run 10 hours on the intermittent setting, which basically just means it shuts on and off until it runs out of water. They both require 8 to 10 drops of oil, and they also have this really cool feature. It's underneath. The charging thing is in the bottom here, so you do need one of these guys that's bent. I think most of the ones that they send are bent. The cool thing about Young Living's plugs is that they go through all of their diffusers, which is awesome. So this one does not have a red dot. The fill line is actually right here. There's this line it goes actually all the way around, you can tell. And you just fill it up to that. But I'm just going to put a little water in it so you can see. So here's something really important to note. Both the Desert Mist and the lantern diffuser will actually leak if this part is not put on correctly. So if you've ever noticed it leaking, just make sure that this is put on. So for example, if, see where this groove lines up, there's a spot right here for it. It has to be like that. If it isn't, you'll leave a gap, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Right. So can you see it coming out of the sides? It'll actually come out the sides, and everything underneath of it will get wet. It's a pain in the butt, so don't do that. Okay, so when you're on it correctly for both of these, it's really pretty. So both of them have 11 light settings to choose from. So my favorite is the candle flicker because I loved candles, and it just is so pretty. So both of these have the exact same thing. The light will stay on until you shut it off. So if you let this run until it empties, the light does stay on. I learned a new trick. So I used to press the button a million times until the light shut off. It still is running, but you don't have to do that. If you just hold down the light button, it'll shut off and still run, just in case you want it down. To switch it in between settings, you press the power button. So now it's on the intermittent mode. The lantern, this is good to note that this is actually glass panes. Young Living, when you're mailing something that is glass like this, you have to go through like very rigorous testing. The postal service or whoever, UPS, I don't know, makes you do that. They did this test. You have to be able to drop it from a certain amount of like a height requirement a bunch of different times, and they double. I think it has to be dropped 30 times. It didn't break until like the 80th time it was dropped, which is pretty awesome. So this is very durable, even though it is fragile. It's durable. It's also really pretty. I love this one. I love this one too. This one retails for $63.75. The Desert Mist. It comes in the starter kit, so you can get this pretty one in the starter kit if you were interested in that. And it is same price as the dewdrop, so depending on what you want. So the lantern is brand new, so if you can tell, just shut off because it's on the intermittent. The lantern is brand new. It just came out in June in convention. This one is $84.75. It does not come in the starter kit, but it's a great second diffuser to buy because it's so pretty. I really love this. This is actually my husband's favorite. He loves this one. It is beautiful. People, like, it's like a piece of art in your house. I love that. Like, so is the this one too, the gentle, or the desert mist. Sorry. So it's still off with the intermittent setting. It'll come back on in a second. I think it's 1 minute off, 1 minute on. Pretty sure. So that's the lantern. Pretty great. Okay, so the next one I'm going to talk about is, I'm pretty sure it's my favorite. I'm going to tell you why. So this is the Rainstone. Isn't it pretty? So pretty. It is made, so this also comes in the starter kit. It's an upgrade to the starter kit. This one just turned back on. It is an upgrade to the starter kit, so it doesn't come in the 160 starter kit like the Dewdrop and the Desert Mist do. This comes in the kit at $205. But this diffuser is $174. So if your kit is $160, your upgrading would only cost you like $25-30 to get this diffuser. So I'm going to tell you about this diffuser. That's actually how I got it. When my husband got his kit, this is what the diffuser that we picked to get. So this covers 323 square feet. This diffuser by itself is $174. So if I'm getting the starter kit at $205 with this, it's a huge savings, like huge. You're essentially getting the 11 oils for $35. So that's what I meant to say before. Okay, so there's a really fun function about this one. I'm going to tell you about in a second. That this was it's handcrafted with purple clay that is found in China. Each one of these takes about 4 hours to make, which is pretty cool. There is, I should dump this out. Okay, so inside, this is leftover from yesterday. This is the one that is in our bedroom. Okay, so inside, make sure you can see it, is the red dot. It's also the ultrasonic plate down there. But over here is something different. So this is actually the ventilation valve. When you're filling up the Rainstone, you want to shut it. So you like lift it up, and once it's full, before you turn it on, you push the thing down. So it just slides up and down, if that makes sense. Once it is filled, it requires 8 to 10 drops. Did I tell you how many this requires? This is, the other two are also 8 to 10 drops. But this has an ionizer, so this is really cool. So, positive ions in the air are things like dust and allergies and hair and just like things that are floating in the air. When you have an ionizer, it creates negative ions that attach themselves to the positive ions and make them heavy, and they fall to the floor. So if you are like sensitive to the season changes and that sort of thing, this is an awesome diffuser for you. I've noticed a huge difference in my life in that regard. So on the remote itself, there is a button called ionizer. So when you turn that on, it automatically goes on. So it is grabbing all of those positive particles, making them heavy, and making them fall to the floor. You just vacuum and sweeping them up, and you're good to go, which is pretty awesome. This diffuser, when you turn on, runs for 8 hours. You can also change the setting to 6, 3, 2, or 1, depending on what you want. I run it at night, so I run it for the full 8. I just turn it on, and it has a little light. I'm going to plug it in a second, sorry. Okay. So, make sure your valve is closed. And the only reason you do that is so that the water doesn't get into the machine. Okay. Goes back on. And a lot of people get confused about this. So this is the sensor. I don't know if you can see that little round thing. You want to make sure the remote is pointed at that. So I'm going to hit the on button. You can tell that the ionizer is on because that is lit. If I turned it off, it would go away. So that's pretty cool. It does have lights. It's like very, very dim though. It's kind of like, I spilled a little bit, sorry. So this is the Rainstone, one of my faves. Love it. Okay, so the Aria is another one that I always recommend that people buy in the starter kit, and this is why. Because the Aria by itself is $231. It is beautiful. Beautiful. Bamboo bottom, glass dome top. It is a speaker, and it is lovely. It also covers the most square footage in the home. It covers about 430 square feet. It requires 15 to 20 drops. It also has a remote. And it is really pretty. So the reason I say to get in the starter kit is because the Aria starter kit costs $260 and the Aria by itself costs $230. So you're essentially getting 11 oils for $30, which is pretty awesome. So I'm going to plug it in. You can connect your iPod to this if you have an iPod still. Where is this? So over here is the headphone jack, and it comes with that, the aux cord, and the power port. So you just plug it in. This one runs for up to 3 hours. It has a splash guard. I don't know what this thing's called. Also has the ultrasonic plate, of course. And you can spin this to point in any direction you want. There is a black, where is it? There it is. A black thing over here. That's where you point the remote at, just like you would with your TV. It's not plugged in, sorry. So as soon as you turn it on, you can hear the sound it plays. So it's like a bell, and then it turns into like melody, like soft, calm music, I guess. I didn't really put enough water in here. It's actually really loud now. There we go. Really pretty. So this also changes colors. Like I said, you can plug your phone into it. It comes with a thing. If you have the new iPhone, you do need to use that like headphone jack converter. It does not have to play music. There is an off button, which shuts off. When you turn it on, it will only run for 1 hour. You do have to set it to the 3-hour setting. Okay, so that is all the like main diffusers that I have, and then I have a couple other fun ones that are littler and cute. So the first one is the Gentle Mist. So this is new as of Christmas time-ish. It is $39.75. It is on the go diffusing. I take it with me when I'm traveling. I love putting peppermint in this. It was designed for facials. It's really great with lavender in it when you're giving yourself an at-home facial. You pop off the back, you put the essential oil and the water in this. It comes with like a little squirty thing. Of course, I don't have that. I'm not going to get it and torture you guys. But you squirt the water in here. Let's see if I can try to not spill. Okay. So you put the water in here. I have taken this on planes with me. I put peppermint in it. I put orange in it. I just, depends on what I'm feeling. You pop it back in. It runs with batteries, which is cool. And you just press the button. And it's not in right, so it's not working, but there we go. So it diffuses. I don't know if you can see that against my dark hair. So this is awesome for facials. If you use peppermint, like, cool yourself down. It smells really good. It's a really good on-the-go aromatherapy. But really, really great for the facials and stuff. So it automatically has a shut-off in 30 seconds. It covers about 50 square feet. And like I said, it's operated by battery. So there is one thing I want to note when that shut off. So the batteries, it requires 3. If I can pop it off. When I first got it, I thought it was only 2, and it's 3. So they're the little ones. The one just has to go on top of the other ones, just so you know. I do take the water reservoir out when I'm not using it. You don't have to. I just don't like the idea of that being near the batteries when it's just sitting there in my bag. I do need to replace these batteries. So that is the Gentle Mist. This one is called the Orb. It's really little and cute. It's awesome for cars. I also have a USB, but I can't find it. So this one connects to a USB in your car. you put 3 to 5 drops on the wick that's inside. So this comes off like this. You put 3 drops of oil on this. These are replaceable. They come in 3 packs for 75 cents each. I don't know how much this one is. I have it written somewhere. I think it's 26. Yeah, $26.50. This will run for about 4.5 hours. If I can get this. And it's awesome for the car. Like I said, this bobs up and down. There's a max fill line in here. You fill it with water, you turn it, and then you press the on and off button. You can plug it into your laptop. You can take it with you, like to your dorm or wherever you're going. And the USB is very similar. So the USB looks like a little thumb drive. It requires these, and it requires no water, which is kind of cool. So you put your essential oil in here. They do not recommend that you use any citrus oil. So it's a good diffuser for lavender and frankincense and that sort of thing. Just not citrus, because the citrus, it is a plastic diffuser. So the citrus over time will start to break it down. So not worth it. And last but not least is one of my new ones. And this is not technically a diffuser, although it is kind of a diffuser. So this is the resin burner. It comes in this fun box. It's awesome for like meditation. I have no idea what that was. And that sort of thing. It is for frankincense resin, which is right here. I have no idea. Oh, it's in the box. So the frankincense resin comes with this. This is actually pretty reasonable. It's $33.75 for the whole entire thing. It includes a bag of resin. I just feel like that's pretty good, especially since the bag of resin itself is $16.75. So you're essentially getting this for like $20 less, 18. You heat it up. You plug it in, you heat it up. It's awesome for meditation, that sort of thing. It's kind of like incense burning. It reminds me a lot of church. You put your resin in here, and it gets really, really hot, and it like bubbles, and it like produces a very different aromatic experience than diffusing frankincense. It helps deepen meditation. It gets very hot, like I said. It actually will get up to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, so you want to be really careful not to touch it. You also are not supposed to leave the room when this is burning because, like I said, it gets really, really hot. And you do scrape it off every time you use it. So they give you one of these little scrapers, and you wait for this to cool down. You want it to still be just a little bit warm, but wait for it to cool down. You just scrape, and it'll come right off. But it's a really cool thing for yoga or for like prayer or meditation or anything like that. And I love seeing frankincense in what it looks like, and it's like a regular form. So they say to put 6 of these in there. So that's a frankincense resin. Smells like frankincense. It's really nice. So that is all the diffusers that I have. I try to clean all my diffusers maybe like every other week when I'm using them. I use rubbing alcohol and a little like a Q-tip, and you just pour a little rubbing alcohol with the Q-tip and just kind of rub around it. You're not supposed to use anything but rubbing alcohol. You can also use, I forgot what I was going to say, but you're only supposed to use rubbing alcohol. You can also use what? What was I going to say? I think I was just going to say rubbing alcohol. When you are traveling with your diffusers, they all have water in them, but normally I'll wrap up the cord like this, and I'll open, oh, this one actually doesn't. I'll open the top. You can put this inside this. That keeps them all together, which is pretty awesome. And now I know exactly where all my stuff is. I actually forget I do that sometimes, and I find a bunch of stuff. So I hope that was helpful. You learned something about your diffuser. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm here to help. It was great to talk to you guys.